Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Bringing you guys our week 3 matchup here for the P4G. The Minnesota Vikavolts are taking on the New Orleans Pelippers and Coach Pokemen, John, my good friend from the GBA and the NPA. So we got quite the competition this week. Very, very good battler. He's 1-1 this season. We're 2-0, so we got off to a really nice start. And I did break down the teams in great length. I talked about my team, what I'm bringing, his team, what I think he's bringing, and so on and so forth. So definitely check out the team builder. But even more importantly, we have NPA Championship Minnesota Vikavolts t-shirts available and fidget spinners that you guys can check out if you want to in the description below. They're gonna be available for just a limited time, so if you want to celebrate, check out the design, guys. It looks awesome. I'll try to put it on the screen if I remember to edit it somewhere, but it looks amazing, and a lot of people have already grabbed them, so definitely grab one if you have the ability to do so and you want to support your Vikavolts, man, because we did win a championship, and it was because of you guys that I was able to push through and have Vikavolt pick up that final kill, man. So that was pretty sweet. So anyway, we're gonna do the match here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Question today is, what do you think about the design of the fidget spinners? Let me know. If you don't like fidget spinners, you don't have to tell me. It's okay. I understand those are kind of a controversial topic on the internet, but I figured for those who wanted it, it's there. If you don't want it, then don't get it. It's all good. But either way, we're gonna connect with John here and hopefully pick up our 3rd win of the season. Last week was a pretty good match for us against Chance. We were able to 6-0 him, but this is not gonna be that easy, man. John is a very good battler. So no offense to Chance, but John is a very, very good battler. So we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna get connected. We're gonna have some fun, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Let's do this. All right, guys, we are connected with John. We're gonna find out exactly what he is gonna be bringing. I think we're gonna see the Manaphy, the Nidoqueen, the Mienshao, the Metagross, potentially the Clefable, and then the last slot I'm a little unsure of. Maybe Pidgeot, maybe something else, but we'll find out here in just a second what he's gonna be bringing. Let's see here. What is he gonna bring? He brings Kamala, which is one thing that I was a little concerned about, but that's the only thing that I didn't guess. So I had a feeling Kamala could come. It could be something else, but it could be like an Assault Vest Kamala, so we do have to be really careful about that, because believe it or not, Kamala is actually a bit of a problem. But in terms of leads, I think he's going to lead Mienshao. I'm really tempted to lead with Primarina here, because I could just fire off a Scald in the first turn and get some pretty big pressure off. If he leads Mienshao, he's forced to simply U-turn out. I am leading to believe he has a Scarf variant. The other option is I could lead Honeydew, but that pretty much gives him a free switch into Metagross, because I can't really touch him with Honeydew. So I'm kind of a little torn there, but I do think Siren's really, really good in this matchup. So I'm gonna definitely lead with Siren here and just try to get a big hit off here, and we can pretty much handle everything. Like, he's gonna be fearing Specs. I don't think he leads Nidoqueen, and if he does, I know I can knock him out with a Scald. So I like that lead with Siren. I think that's pretty much a good strategy. You know, I led Siren last week actually, and I really like it as a lead, even though it's not very fast and kind of not your typical lead. It's really good because I think a lot of people will expect like a Bronzong lead, but against this team, Stealth Rocks aren't super duper important. Like, they're not really that important. So to me, like having the ability to you know, to potentially hit something really, really hard and break through one of his walls early, or just dent something right off the bat, is really worth it. So I'm gonna just run a couple calcs here in the meantime, like against like physically defensive Clefable. We do 2-shot with Moonblast potentially if he doesn't have lefties, so that's pretty interesting to note. Like an AV Kamala is something I'm a little concerned about because it could have Woodhammer, but like Kamala is a interesting Pokemon, man. He's got some interesting stats, but we should be able to whittle it down. We should be able to whittle it down. We do have to be careful of it having like Sucker Punch, but let's see if he does lead Mienshao. If he does, that gives me an opportunity to Scald on the first turn, which I think is gonna be really nice. So let's see here. He is gonna lead Nips Gaming, which I think is the Nidoqueen. So he actually leads Nidoqueen here. So this is not too bad for me because I could just Scald. If he wants to trade Nidoqueen for Primarina, that's fine. I am Assault Vest, so I know I can live one hit. So I don't think I'm gonna overpredict. I think I'm just gonna go for the Scald. And if he goes Manaphy, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna click Scald here. I know I can live a Sludge Wave unless he's Choice Specs. Modest Life Orb Sludge Wave does not knock me out. So I don't know if he predicted that or if he's gonna try to set up Stealth Rocks here, but Nidoqueen cannot knock me out. And the only way this really goes bad is if he's like an Assault Vest set. If he's Assault Vest, then I obviously don't knock him out, but then his Sludge Wave does less to me. So yeah, he would do a lot less to me. So I'm just gonna go for the Scald. If he's Assault Vest, I don't think he's Assault Vest lead. I don't. So will he wanna risk it? Because normally, like, if I'm like Specs, he definitely Sludge Waves me and knocks me out. So, you know, Sludge Wave would definitely knock me out if he was like a Life Orb set, if I didn't have the Assault Vest. So kind of an interesting first turn here. You know, I'm sticking to my guns of Scalding. I think that's definitely the right play. It has a really good chance to knock him out. Unless he, I mean, if he's like max HP, he could live it. But I think it's still the right play. So I don't know if he's gonna make a prediction on the first turn or not that I would go Bronzong. He's gonna switch out, so that's fine with me. I get a Scald Off. He goes into Pokemon Manaphy, which is gonna be his Manaphy. I get a nice Scald Off here on this Manaphy, which is gonna do some good damage to him. And that does about 30%. We do not pick up a burn, it's a bit of a bummer, but I can get some intel on this Manaphy and try to find out what kind of set he is. He likely has Energy Ball, so that Skull did about what I expected. Yeah, so it looks like he's an offensive Manaphy set, which means Energy Ball has a chance to knock him out here. I'm gonna go for the Energy Ball because you don't mess around with Manaphy. You don't mess around with this thing. He probably knows I'm not Specs now, but you don't. I should have probably Moonblasted. But really his switch in would probably be the Metagross anyway. So we'll just Energy Ball here. If he goes for an Energy Ball of his own, I know I can take it, so it's not a huge deal. But getting this thing weakened is huge because this is like one of the biggest threats he has. Like Manaphy is always a threat, dude. Manaphy is just always a threat. So we got to scare out the Nidoqueen on the first turn because he probably felt that he couldn't knock me out and he was probably fearing Specs. So I wonder, I don't think he's still gonna think I'm Specs, but Energy Ball I think is the safe play here early game. Like he could go back Nidoqueen, but then like I just get to threaten him again with another Scald, so I'm like less concerned about that switching. He's gonna go for the Tail Glow, so we see the Tail Glow right off the bat. Tail Glow Manaphy, and this is the kind of the stuff you gotta worry about, man. Like Tail Glow Manaphy is just such a huge threat. So I'll Energy Ball it, has a chance to knock him out, but it's not going to. We do get a special defense drop, which is nice. Now the question is, can I live a +3 Manaphy Energy Ball? Which I'm assuming he has. I can live it. Yeah, I can live it. Unless he's like Life Orb. He could be the Z move, but I don't anticipate that. So I think I'm just gonna take the hit because I outspeed him with other stuff. So I think I can just take the hit and go for a Scald here. Or a Moonblast. I mean, it really doesn't matter what I go for. I should be able to live the hit. Now it stinks because then I lose my Primarina at that point in time pretty much. But I get rid of Manaphy, which is like one of the biggest threats on the team. I could make a prediction here and go into some, I mean, the only thing I could really go into is Beedrill. Predicting, how much do I need Beedrill in this match? I kind of want to make the prediction going into Beedrill. How much does +3 Energy Ball to do Beedrill? Because I should be able to take it. I can definitely take a +3 Energy Ball. I think I'm gonna make this switch into Beedrill, guys. I think he like has to go for it. So I'm gonna go into Beedrill here because I can outspeed him. I think he's forced to go for it, otherwise he just gets knocked out. So I'm gonna go to Beedrill here, and if I mispredict, it's fine because Beedrill isn't the most useful member of my team. Let's see if he goes for the Energy Ball. He goes for the Energy Ball, so I can definitely take that, which is great. And you can see that barely does anything because we 4 times resist it. So that's really awesome. So now I get to Mega Evolve, and I just click U-turn now. So I did activate the Mega Evolution, right? Okay. I'm just gonna Mega Evolve and U-turn. We're nowhere faster, and there's not really anything that can switch into it. So he's gonna switch out and save his Manaphy at about 25%. And he goes into Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen's going to get knocked out here. Well, it's gonna take some damage at least. So that's fine. So now he could be Scarf Queen. We have to make a tough decision here. Do I think he's Scarf Nidoqueen? Okay, he's Rocky Helmet. That's great to know. That's actually really good to know. Because now I know he's not going to be faster than stuff. So he's Rocky Helmet, which leads me to believe he's defensive. Which means I can go into my Diggersby here. And we can immediately put pressure on him by clicking Earthquake. We can immediately pressure him with Earthquake now. And he's sitting at about, let's say 75%. I want to make sure I keep note of all the stuff that we see. I know I'm faster, so I can easily Earthquake here. I don't think there's any reason for me not to Earthquake. We know he's not Shukaberry. He doesn't really have a switch into the Earthquake, so I'm just going to play Earthquake here. He may just sack off his Manaphy at this point in time, which is fine. But interesting, Rocky Helmet Nidoqueen, which is a lot less threatening than kind of the offensive sets, but Nidoqueen fills so many different roles, you have to be really cautious because it can do so many different things, and it can really catch you off guard if you're not aware of the set it is. So, so far this has been a really good couple turns. Like, we've been able to get that Manaphy weakened incredibly. He's gonna have to switch out here, so something takes this Earthquake now, and it's gonna be the Manaphy. So Diggersby's gonna knock out the Manaphy. Diggersby kills Manaphy with EQ. So you get rid of the Manaphy, which is a huge threat off our faces. Like, just get him out of there. Get him out of there. Diggersby gets a kill every time it comes in, which is super awesome. He doesn't have anything that can switch into 2 Diggersby Earthquakes. So, and now that Manaphy's gone, his team is like really slow comparative. Aside from Mienshao, which I'm expecting is a Scarf Mienshao. So I think he has to go Mienshao now, if I had to guess. Which is really what my Latias is for. I don't know if he's gonna U-turn, but Latias comes in on that. And Bronzong should be able to wall the Metagross, so we have some good options there. And that Nidoqueen has gotten worn down. So now, the biggest thing that we have to be careful with is that Mienshao, but I gotta see how much does Diggersby Quick Attack do to Mienshao? It does 50%, it does over 50%. So that's really awesome. That's really awesome. But Diggersby is in a great spot because it like 2-hit KOs everything. I'm assuming it 2-hit KOs the Kamala too, like a max HP Kamala. I'm gonna double check, but I'm assuming. Kamala's bulky, but oh, it actually one-shots Kamala. Okay, so there goes that. Now we know that. We know Diggersby. So I mean, Diggersby is really just like the key right now to this match. If he goes Mienshao, we go right into Latias. Latias is our dedicated switch into Mienshao. If he goes for, he pretty much has to high jump kick. Because if he U-turned, he'd potentially put himself in a bad spot. So we have to be careful of Clefable. If he goes Clefable, we just have to kind of aggro into it. If he goes Metagross, we just go for the Earthquake. Unfortunately, like that could put us in a tough spot, but it's just about you know, not letting the Metagross do anything, like set up an agility or anything. So he does go Metagross here, which leads me to believe that he's got a Shuka Berry. It leads me to believe he's got a Shuka Berry. Do I care about that? I'm gonna just switch out into Bell, just to play it safe, man. You know, like, I'm led to believe he has a Shuka Berry, and I want to break that Shuka Berry right now. He could be trying to call my bluff. But really, Metagross isn't too scary for my Bronzong, and I could just go for an Earthquake and get some chip damage off on something. The only thing I mean, Clefable can't beat me, unless it sets up a substitute, so that's okay. Yeah, let me just make the safe play into my Bronzong here. I don't know if he's got Shuka Berry. I really don't. I don't know if he's trying to bluff it. If he's Choice Banded Bullet Punch, like, I don't know. But to me, like, Diggersby really, really rips through his team at this point in time. So, like, if I can go into Bronzong and get an Earthquake off, that could be really useful. So let's go for that. He actually goes for the Pursuit, so great play on his part. He goes for the Pursuit. That's going to do some good damage. I was pretty sure we would see the Pursuit on the Metagross. But that's okay. So he makes a good prediction there, and he calls our bluff. But I can find out at least whether he does have the Shuka Berry, because I can go for an Earthquake here. He really doesn't have a great switch in aside from Clefable. And if Clefable, I mean, he could go Clefable here. Do I think he goes Clefable? That would be the only issue if he went Clefable here. At which point he would probably go for like a Flamethrower or something. I'm gonna just make the safe Earthquake play. He's gonna switch out. Does he go Clefable now? He's gonna go Paula, so he does go Clefable. Oh no, he actually goes Kamala. Okay, I stand corrected. So Kamala comes in, which I can't status, so I get an Earthquake off on the Kamala. Not a huge deal. I can set up Stealth Rocks though, and we did a sizable chunk there. A very big chunk of damage. Which means I could just fire off another Earthquake. Because really all he can do is Sucker Punch me. I can also set up some Rocks and start to weaken him down a little bit. But I don't really think Rocks are that useful, so I'm just going to stay on the offensive with Earthquake. I think the best move he hits me with is like a Sucker Punch if I had to guess. I'm assuming he's like an Assault Vest version of this. So Kamala's sitting at about 60%. That was a good play on his Metagross. Like, he did a really good job pursuit trapping me there. Like, it wasn't worth it to me to risk it. He made a really risky play though, but he's got to make some risky plays to try to pull himself back, because I think we kind of have we're in a good situation right now. Not as good as we were with the Diggersby. Like, had I just clicked Earthquake, we would have been so much better, because we probably just knock out the Metagross. Like, 2 Earthquakes just knocks him out. And then we were pretty much commanding there, but at this point, I'd rather play it a little slower with having the team I have. Oh, he's got Shadow Claw. Okay. So he's got Shadow Claw on his Kamala, which does less than 50% to us. So I can easily Earthquake. It's not a big deal. We'll get a big Earthquake off now. Now he's got to decide, do I make the switch? That looks like it's a 3 KO. Do I make the play into Diggersby? Like, is he fearing the Diggersby play here? And can I beat Metagross at this point in time? I think I could still beat Metagross with the team I have. Do I want to save my Bronzong for the Metagross is really what it comes down to. I mean, I could make a really bold play into Diggersby here. I don't think that's the right decision, though. I just don't think that's the right decision. I think just knocking out this Kamala is the right play. So I'm just going to go for an Earthquake. He may Sucker Punch, just in case. Or no, he wouldn't Sucker Punch. He may switch up his moves here, because my switch into Diggersby would be a really solid play here, and I don't know if he's going to predict that or not. Because now that I've seen a Shadow Claw is going to be on the verge of whether it's a crit knockout, because it is a high crit move, but I think Bell will be able to live it. So, and I do have the Quick Attack pressure at this point too, which is nice. And now that I've seen that Metagross, you know, we can put some pressure on. I just need to make sure I don't allow us to get beat by Clefable, which means I keep Beedrill in the back as healthy as possible. He's gonna go for the Shadow Claw again, so we'll see if we can knock him out here. And if we get knocked out, he gets the crit. So that's a bummer, man, because that would have knocked out the Kamala. So Kamala kills Bronzong with Shadow Claw. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure I just go into, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go into, let's see, what do I want to go into? I think I go into Grab It and just go for Quick Attack. I take a little recoil damage, but can I live a Bullet Punch? Is really what it comes down to. Like, what does Metagross Bullet Punch do? Let's see. It shouldn't do too much. Yeah, I can definitely take it. So I'm gonna go into Grab It here and go for a Quick Attack. This isn't really how I wanted this to go. Like, you know, we kind of made a few mistakes. I think he's gonna have Sucker Punch, so I'm just gonna Quick Attack, and that should knock out the Kamala. Pretty much under every circumstance. That crit was a big deal, because now I have to take extra Life Orb damage, which stinks, man. Definitely stinks that I have to take extra Life Orb damage now on Diggersby. But he may Sucker Punch just to get damage. This should knock him out. And it does. So Diggersby kills the Kamala with Quick Attack. So Kamala's gone. Alright. So now I think he probably goes Mienshao now, which is really scary. I gotta figure out how I beat that Metagross. That's the issue that I'm facing right now. I can live one Bullet Punch. I still have my Primarina though, which is good. Primarina definitely puts in some work still against the Metagross. He goes low main, so here's the Mienshao. So I don't know if he U-turns here. I don't think a U-turn would knock me out at this range. Let me take a look. Would a U-turn knock me out? Because he can't risk that. U-turn does not knock me out. It'd be too risky for him. So I think he has to go for like a knockoff, which probably knocks me out. Let's take a look. Yeah, he would knock me out with a knockoff. So I'm gonna go Honeydew, which is my switch into this thing. And we'll see if he just goes for the U-turn or not. So we go into our Honeydew, which is physically defensive. He goes for the U-turn, so he does just go for the U-turn here. That's fine. We could take it. It does about half. Not a huge deal. And basically what I gotta do is even if that Metagross has a Sugar Berry, I think I just need to pressure it and go for the Earthquake. I think that's what we're gonna need to do. Because once the Metagross is down, like, Beedrill puts on so much pressure against this team, because the Drill Run is gonna really hurt the Nidoqueen, and we don't get the recoil damage from that. Assuming he's like a bulky set. Yeah, Drill Run does a lot. So he goes into Moonshine, which is the Clefable. So I'm gonna just go for the Shattered Psychic, the Shattered Psyche, and just go for the knockout here. Or not the knockout, but it does like 60%. Because he likely Flamethrowers and predicts my switch out. So let's just go for the Shattered Psyche here and see what kind of set this Clefable is. So I can get some damage off, kind of force him to recover. Latias and a Clefable. So Shattered Psyche should do like 57 to 68 if he's like a defensive set. I don't know if he's the Calm Mind set, but again, like Beedrill, Poison Jab does knock him out, so even like unless he's got to be a full. So that's like a pretty bulky Clefable. He's gonna go for the Moonblast. If this knocks me out, it's not a big deal. I'm not like too upset if it does. And it does knock me out, so that's fine. So now I can make a decision here. What do I want to do? So let me make note of that. So Clefable kills. Clefable kills Latias with Moonblast. Okay. So my way to beat the Mienshao now is I need to keep my Primarina healthy. So how do I beat the Clefable now? Do I just Earthquake? I think I could just Earthquake and get rid of it because he has no switch into the Earthquake at this point in time. So Diggersby immediately threatens him out. It gives him the Mienshao switch-in option though, which is kind of annoying. But at this point in time, we're in a situation where I can beat him. Let's think about these turns. This is a very important turn. So Diggersby definitely knocks out the Clefable at this range. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure it does with an Earthquake. Yep, it should. It should. Max HP, max defense. He does not live in Earthquake. So Diggersby knocks him out here. His only way, then he has to go into Mienshao basically, and I could just quick attack the Mienshao to weaken it. And then I go into Primarina and I just click Scald. That could bring out the Metagross though. And then I go into probably Tapu Koko. I'm trying to just make sure, like, Primarina needs to be the one that can beat the Mienshao. Alright, I'm gonna go into Grab It here. I think that's the best way to go, because I don't want to go for like a T-Bolt and lock myself in a T-Bolt here. I think that would be a mistake, so I'm just gonna click Earthquake. And that should knock out the Clefable, or whatever he switches in. I'm assuming he just lets Clefable go down so he can get a free switch into Mienshao, at which point I can just go for the quick attack. So unfortunately, this is gonna put my Grab It into Bullet Punch range, but it's not the end of the world. I still have a Primarina, and it's basically gonna be Primarina trying to beat the Metagross and keeping Tapu Koko at full to go for like some weakening moves. Because the Nidoqueen can beat the Tapu Koko, but with a little bit of chip damage, we're fine. Beedrill beats Nidoqueen. He's gonna let him go down. So, Diggersby kills Clefable with EQ. So Diggersby put in some work, picking up 3 kills so far. Very nice. Now, he pretty much has to go Mienshao here. I can quick attack and do some damage. I think it's worth it, just because... Does it really matter, the quick attack damage? Or do I save, grab it, and sack something else off here? I think I just save, grab it. I'm at 53 out of 161, which puts me at 32%. So that means the Mienshao, let's see, does Mienshao always knock me out with U-turn here? There's a chance we can live it. It's very low though. There's a very low chance that we live. But what happens is, like, no matter what the Mienshao goes for, like, I can, like, if Mienshao goes for, he goes Metagross. So he's gonna Bullet Punch then, which is probably the right decision. But does Bullet Punch kill me? It probably does. We don't know what kind of Metagross this is still. Bullet Punch does 26 to 31 if he's adamant almost max attack. If he's adamant max attack, he does knock us out with Bullet Punch here. So the question is it worth me saving this thing? Probably not. How do I beat the Metagross at this point? How do I beat the Metagross at this point? I have to beat it with Tapu Koko going for Thunderbolt, I think. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake. He's probably gonna knock me out with Bullet Punch. Oh, he's not, and he is the Shuka Berry. That's actually really big though for us, because we're gonna be able to weaken this thing to guarantee the Tapu Koko Thunderbolt kill, which is pretty valuable. So he was the Shuka Berry this whole time. Does he go for the Pursuit this time? That'd be amazing. He goes to the Meteor Mash and he connects, okay. So Metagross, Meteor Mash kills Diggersby. Okay. Now we gotta think about this for a second. What do I want to go into here? Can Beedrill take a Bullet Punch? Can Beedrill take a max attack Bullet Punch now that we know he's Shuka Berry? 52 to 62, and we are sitting at 84 out of 145. So we're at 57, so no, we cannot take a Bullet Punch. So what do I do here? I think I have to go Tapu Koko and Thunderbolts. The problem with that play is if I Tapu Koko Thunderbolt here, he goes into Nidoqueen. And Nidoqueen is then able to sponge the hits. I can't go Siren, because I need to be able to live a hit from Mienshao, assuming he's Scarf. So I think I have to go Tapu Koko and make a bold prediction and go for HP Ice or Nature's Madness. And then Thunderbolt. Because he's going to switch Nidoqueen. He has to switch Nidoqueen. How do I win this game? How do I win this game? I could go Siren here. I'm going to go Siren here and pressure him with Scald. This bugs me because I know that the Mienshao is going to be in a situation where it can threaten me. But if he locks himself in a Poison Jab to take on Primarina, then I go into Beedrill and I can threaten him out. So I think this is the right play. So I'm going to just go for the Scald here. He's probably going to knock me out. He goes for the Meteor Mash. He connects it. I know. Well, he's not going to knock me out. We're going to live it. It does a lot. And we get a Scald off here. So Primarina kills Metagross. Metagross with Scald. I hope I didn't misplay that there. So Metagross is gone. Okay. Now he probably goes Nidoqueen. Knocks me out, I believe. Like, I just don't think Mienshao can one-shot Tapu Koko. I just don't think Mienshao one-shots Tapu Koko with Poison Jab. Because I ran that calc earlier. It does not. Adamant Reckless does not one-shot Koko with Poison Jab. So Koko being at full is really important. So now I just need to get damage off on the Nidoqueen. So he basically has to go Mienshao here. If he goes Mienshao, that's actually I'd rather him go Nidoqueen, because if he goes Nidoqueen, he knocks me out, and then I go Beedrill. I Drill Run. Should knock out the Nidoqueen, and if it doesn't, then HP Ice from Koko will, and then Koko beats the Mienshao because it doesn't take any damage. So if he goes Mienshao, he does go Mienshao. So now it depends on what he goes for. Is really what it comes down to. He has to go for Poison Jab, and if he goes for Poison Jab, then I can go to Beedrill, and Beedrill can threaten him with like a couple different attacks. So I'm just gonna go for the Moonblast, or I'm gonna go for the Scald, I think. Let me just double check the calc on that, but I think it doesn't really matter. I think Mienshao just dies to a Scald either way. No, I have to Moonblast, but the damage on the Nidoqueen is fine. It helps ensure the KO. So I'm gonna Moonblast. He has to Poison Jab. He does Poison Jab. Okay, so now I get to go into Beedrill against Mienshao. And Poison Jab should really not do anything because it's resisted. Poison Jab is like 30%. So Mienshao kills Primarina with Poison Jab. So now what I do is I go into Beedrill to take the Poison Jab. And I go for the Poison Jab of my own, I believe. Yeah, I go for the Poison Jab of my own, because even if Nidoqueen comes in, it can't live a Poison Jab plus a Drill Run. So we're just gonna click Poison Jab here. This is gonna come down to the wire. I think we're gonna be okay, because Poison Jab plus Drill Run should knock out the Nidoqueen, and I don't think there's any way a Mienshao can one-shot Tapu Koko, which is the key here. Is just making sure Mienshao does not one-shot Tapu Koko. And if he's not Scarf, then we knock him out anyway. So, but Poison Jab should give us the extra damage we need on the Nidoqueen to ensure that we can knock him out with Drill Run. It doesn't do much, it does like 20%, but that 20% makes a huge difference in terms of just guaranteeing that Drill Run knockout. So he has to switch into Nidoqueen here to win this game, because I know he's locked. I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed. I prepped for Scarf Mienshao this whole time. So, but like I said, I just don't think Mienshao can one-shot Koko under any circumstances. So, yeah, I think we played this the right way. It's gonna come down to what he has. Like, You know, but Poison Jab doesn't knock out Beedrill here, and I'm pretty sure he's scarfed into it. And if he's not scarfed into it, he dies anyway. He is scarfed into it. He's gonna go for the Poison Jab. That was the play he decided to make. Our Poison Jab should knock him out, though, I would guess. And it does. Sweet. So he might have thought I predicted I went for U-turn or something, but Beedrill kills Mienshao with Poison Jab. And now he goes into the Nidoqueen. Now, I don't know if Nidoqueen's got Sucker Punch. That would be a game changer. I'm going to go for the Drill Run, though. It's my play. 100% my play. If he somehow has Sucker Punch on his Nidoqueen, which I think is like some crazy transfer move, then he wins the game. But otherwise, we should be in good shape because I have HP Ice on my Tapu Koko. If he had it, he would have went for it. Yeah, Drill Run's gonna connect. I don't think this knocks him out. I think it's gonna bring him really low. It does bring him really low. We take Rocky Helmet damage, and he's gonna knock us out with Earth Power. So Nidoqueen kills Beedrill with Earth Power. And now it comes down to, does Tapu Koko's HP Ice kill Nidoqueen at this range? The damage calc on HP Ice, if he's max HP, is 32 to 38%. I'm assuming he's not specially defensive. We know he's not Assault Vest. So at the range he's at, this should be able to knock him out because I think he's around 25%. So, yep, this looks like it's gonna knock him out unless he's max special defense, max HP. Hidden Power Ice is our play, 100%. I wish I was Expert Belt to guarantee it, but we should be okay. It's gonna come down to the damage roll here, but I think even if he's max HP, max special defense, it still does 25 to 30. So, let's find out right now. Is it gonna be enough? And it is enough. Tapu Koko dealing the final blow. Koko kills Nidoqueen. Oh man, with HP Ice. I told you guys, every time I battle John, it is always a close game, man. It is always a close game. It never fails to be the closest game ever. I feel like every match we play, it's a 1-0. But you gotta give props to my man John, Pokemon guys, show him some love. We moved to 3-0 in one of our toughest matches this season. We got a really good start there in that match, made some good plays early on. I made some safer plays middle game, because I wanted to make sure that I was able to scout his sets out and not lose anything if needed. It definitely came down to the wire there at the end. We had to really manage our switches properly and conserve HP to watch out for priority moves and stuff, but we were able to hang in there just enough. We have Diggersby picking up 3 kills, Primarina with a kill, Beedrill with a kill, and Koko with a kill. So Beedrill makes its debut this season, does a really good job putting a lot of pressure on, getting a nice drill run off, Poison Jab to knock out the Mienshao. Its typing came in super handy. More importantly than anything, its typing was huge, being able to switch into the energy ball from Manaphy and knock it out with the revenge kills. So a lot of really cool plays there, man, and just a close match in general. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, man. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about the match last week, saying that the competition wasn't very good, yada, yada, yada. But I'll tell you what, guys, there are some great battlers in this league, man, so don't discount that. Just because we had one match where we 6-0 someone doesn't mean the rest of the league is bad or anyone's bad. You know, we had a good game that game. So, there's some really good battlers, man. You got Leo, who's a UCL champion. You've got Kelly, who's a great player from the NPA. I mean, there's some really good players, guys. There's no joke, and John is one of them. So, nice way to pick up a W here. Move to 3-0, doing awesome. Diggersby making his debut. I'll take the win. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace.